Funeral service for Francine Miriam Abramoff, Zichronah Livracha, Tzipora Bat Moshe V'Yafe. Thursday, October 16th, 2025, the 24th of Tishrei, 5786. I invite you, if you're able, please rise. When we lose a mother, a sister, a loved one, a friend, we begin our service with our ancient words of loss. Please repeat after me. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam dayan ha'emet. Praised are you, Adonai, our God, who rules the universe, the judge of truth. Adonai Natan, va'Adonai Lekach, Yehi Shem Adonai Mevorach. Adonai has given, and Adonai has taken. Praise be the name of Adonai. Please be seated. My name is Jesse Charon, Rabbi of Beit Shirah congregation. We are here today to honor Francine, a valued Beit Shirah member, a regular at Shabbat services. I point here to where she would sit, a regular at our Shabbat services, and a past sisterhood president. Francine is forever memorialized on her sisterhood president plaque found right outside our sanctuary. In addition to her leadership on a congregational level, Francine also served as treasurer for the Women's League of Conservative Judaism. Her contributions as a leader is valued and part of her legacy. It was such a joy to see Francine most every Shabbat in this sanctuary. We are gathered in today to honor her, a place so very special to her. In my communication with Francine's kids, they echoed just how important Judaism was to Mom and how she loved Jewish holidays because they brought the family together. And when it came to holidays, her favorite was Hanukkah. Francine would host an annual candle lighting in her home. Francine and Fred were members of not one, but two havurah groups over the course of decades, and also Salem Schechter Day School parents. Her legacy includes her active participation in the Jewish community and her boundless love for her family, especially her grandchildren, Ryan and Ophelia. Today we are gathered to honor Francine and wish her soul well on its journey and reunion with Fred, her husband, for over 50 years, and all of her loved ones in Olam Haba. Francine's neshama is now free and unbounded, experiencing total and complete peace. Her time here was impactful and will continue to be a blessing to all who knew her, especially in her devotion to her family and her active participation at Beit Shirah, Samuel Or Olam, and Women's League. We were at a loss of what to say, of how to respond, and we gained strength from our tradition. I'm honored now to invite Cantor Babe Resnick, Francine's brother, to lead us in Psalm 23.
Adonai roi lo echsa bino tesher yabitzeini עלמי המנוחות, עלמי מנוחות, ינעלני. נפשי שובי, ינחני במגלי צדק, ינחני במגלי צדק למען שמו. גם כי אלך בגיא צל מוות, לא אירא רע, כי אתה עמדי. שיטתך ומשענתך המה ינחמוני. תערוך לפני שולחן נגד צוררי. דשנת והשמן ראשי, כוסי רוויה. אך תוך וחסד ידפוני, כל ימי חיי, כל ימי חיי. ושבתי בבית אדוני לאורך ימים, ושבתי בבית אדוני לאורך ימים. אדוני רואי לא אחסר, Adonai roi lo exalt.
A translation, a psalm of David. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. God makes me to lie down in green pastures. God leads me beside the still waters, restores my soul, guides me in straight paths for God's name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You have anointed my head with oil, my cup runs over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Cantor Onit Rubin knew Francine and Fred and is honored to be with us today. I now invite her to lead us in Psalm 121. From where does our help come from? Where do we look? We look to the heavens.
Shir lamalot, esa einai el heharim, me'ayin yavo Ezri, Ezri me'im Adonai, ose shamayim va'aretz, al yiten lamot raglecha, al yanum shomrecha, hine lo yanum velo ishan shomer Yisrael, Adonai shomrecha, Adonai tzilcha yad neminecha, Yomam hashemesh והריח בלילה, אדוני ישמורך מכל רע, ישמור את נפשך, אדוני ישמור צאתך ובואך, מעתה ועד עולם, מעתה ועד עולם.
A song of ascents. I turn my eyes to the mountains. From where will my help come? My help comes from Adonai, maker of heaven and earth. Adonai will not let your foot give way. Your guardian will not slumber. The guardian of Israel neither slumbers nor sleeps. Adonai is your protection, a guardian at your right hand. By day the sun will not strike you, the moon by night. Adonai will guard you from all harm and guard your life. Adonai guard your going and your coming, now and forever. Let us say together, V'no Omar, Amen. I have learned that Francine took care of her beloved Fred, even when she herself was facing significant health challenges. She exemplified the qualities of a Eshet Chayil, a woman of valor. We now continue with the words from Proverbs, Eshet Chayil.
אשת חיל ממצא ורחוק מפניני מכרע, בטח בלב בעלה ושאלה לא יחסר, גמלת הוא טוב ולא רע כל ימי חייה, כפה פרשה לעוני וידיה שילחה לאביון, עוז והדר לבושה ותשחק ליום אחרון, פיה פתחה בחוכמה ותורת חסד על לשונה, צופיה הלכות ביתה ולחם עצלות לא תאכל, כמובן אבשרוה בעלה יהלליה, רבות בנות עשו חיל ואת עלית על כולנה, שקר ההן והבל היופי, אישה יראת אדוני תתהלל, תנו לה מפרי ידיה והללוה ושרים מעשיה, תנו לה מפרי ידיה והללוה ושרים מעשיה.
What a precious find is an Eshet Chayil, a woman of valor. Her worth is far beyond rubies. Her partner puts his confidence in her and lacks no good thing. She is good to him, never bad, all the days of her life. She opens her hand to the needy and extends her hand to the poor. She is clothed with strength and splendor. She looks to the future cheerfully. She opens her mouth with wisdom. Her tongue is guided by kindness. She oversees the activities of her household and never eats the bread of idleness. Her children come forward and they bless her. Her partner praises her and he says, many women have done superbly, but you surpass them all. Charm is deceitful and beauty vain, but a God-revering woman is much to be praised. Extol her for the fruit of her hand. Wherever people gather, her deeds speak her praise. Francine was not alone in caring for Fred. The family shared that she had a very special hospice nurse with him, Anne-Marie. Anne-Marie was also part of Francine's care team. The family has asked for me to acknowledge the important contributions and care provided to Francine by her dedicated care team, including Anne-Marie and Maud, and to offer them a blessing. If you can please stand. Anne-Marie and Maud. That's okay. Everyone can acknowledge as you turn and you see them, their holy work. And this blessing, the family has asked for me to give you this blessing because of the care that you gave to their mother and father. May the one who blessed our fathers and mothers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, bless and strengthen Anne-Marie and Maud, who care and support individuals and families as an essential lifeline, extending dignity and compassion and caring for others, unable to care for themselves. May you receive the spiritual resources from the Holy One to hold you up, to sustain you, and carry you as you give on a daily basis. May you receive emotional support from those you know who care for you, so you feel strengthened and renewed. May you embrace all the goodness that surrounds you, moments in nature, time to be silent and quiet, music you love, and beauty that is in the world. And may you find meaning in something that will nourish your soul outside of your commitment and loyalty, knowing that you too need healing of mind, body, and spirit. Blessed are you, Adonai, who lifts those who are bent and strengthens those who feel weak. Let us say together, Amen. When I asked Jay, Michelle, and Aaron what Mom's favorite prayer was, they told me one of the prayers that she really enjoyed was Ein Keloheinu. Ein Keloheinu. None compares to our God. An acrostic to suggest the words, Amen, Baruch Atah. Ein Keloheinu is part of our concluding prayers, and yet the sequence of these words say that although it seems that we're at the end, we really haven't come close to a conclusion. That really, it's just the beginning. An opportunity to begin a new blessing. This reminds me of Simchat Torah, the holiday that we just ended last night. What do we do during Simchat Torah? We complete the Torah and immediately turn it and turn it and turn it back to the beginning, back to Bereshit. Ein Keloheinu is a very fitting prayer to sing to Francine, for someone with great faith in family, and such pride as a Jew. This is not the end. It's an opportunity for another blessing, the blessing of gratitude to Hashem for life and the connections and impact that we make, for the stories we inspire and the strength and wisdom we are able to leave as a legacy. I now invite Cantor Ronit Rubin to sing for us, to sing with us, Ein Keloheinu.
Well, I don't really know which of the two tunes that I know for Ein Keloheinu she liked the best, so I will try to sing both. Ein Keloheinu, Ein Kadonenu, Ein Kemalkeinu, Ein Kemoshienu, Mich Eloheinu, Mich Adonenu, Mich Malkeinu, Mich Moshienu. Pause. Nodel Eloheinu, Nodel Adonenu, Nodel Malkeinu, Nodel Moshienu. Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshienu. Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshienu, Atahu Shehiktiru Avotenu Lefanecha Eketoret Hasamim. Was there a third melody, Jay? All right, thank you.
At this time in our service, it is now time to reflect to reflect on the life and legacy of Francine and to hear from those who knew her best. Her friends, her family. I'd like to invite up Roz Rimlin to share with us some words.
Get your tissues out. Oh, okay, I got 2 boxes. When you get the news that you have lost a loved one, a cold pain sets in. You can't get rid of that pain, but you can ease it. Let memories of that person warm your heart. I met Francine around 2000, when we and Fred and Francine joined Temple Samuel. Through the sisterhood, we became good friends. There was a group of us who became active in Florida region, traveling throughout the state for spring conferences, Torah Fund study days, Sunday fun days, as well as attending 3 national conventions. We loved being with other Jewish women and gained deeper understanding of Judaism and Israel. Francine knew how to sustain friendships. There are women in this room who've known her for more than 30 years. She was always there to share a laugh or lend a supporting hand. She also knew how to sustain family relationships, always reaching out to her brother's families and Fred's families. Our husbands became friends, and we loved going to concerts, theaters, and movies, but most of all, we loved our New Year's trips. Memories of Moat Aquarium in Sarasota, Tampa Aquarium eating Cuban food in Ybor City, freezing on Jacksonville Beach waiting for fireworks, looking for the Fountain of Youth in St. Augustine, standing on the deck of the aircraft carrier Yorktown in Charleston, and our last trip on a Caribbean cruise. Though we traveled on our own, both couples to different parts of the world, we cherish the memories of those trips because we shared them with our dearest friends. We have all come here today to say goodbye to our beloved Francine, who will be missed by so many of us. So when the sadness overwhelms out, pull out your scrapbooks and your photo albums. Remember those things? Crank up your computer or phone and look at your pictures. Remember the events. See the joy on her face when you took her picture. Or see the joy that you shared with her, remembering the warmth of her hug when she wished you Shabbat Shalom. Remember the pleasure she showed when her whole family was together. Remember the love she showed her friends. As long as we remember her, she will live forever. God bless you, my dearest friend, and may you rest in peace.
Francine's brother Babe to share with us.
I just whispered to Ronit, this is the toughest part for me. Singing is much more natural. Okay. I have to speak into the microphone, that's true. Even though Francine, we knew that the worst was near, it's always a shock. I know that's a cliche already, but it's still difficult for me to use the was instead of the is in describing Francine. I have to get used to that. Someone last week asked me, this week after she passed, What did you think? How did you think of her growing up? How was it? What some stories? I don't tell stories. I never did. I talk in generalities. All I could say was, my brother, myself, my brother was 5 years older than me. I was 5 years older than Francine. And we were brothers. We dealt with her. To my parents, she was a Shayna Maidela. And that's what she was for 15, 20 years, this Shayna Maidela. You can't fight that. And we didn't, because we were raised not consciously to be jealous of our siblings. I know I was proud of all her accomplishments. I was proud of all my brother's accomplishments. And there were many. And that's, as I said, that's how we were raised. And we had a beautiful family. We'd go out to a restaurant when we were all younger, including my parents, and they were younger. And we'd sit down as a unit, and strangers would come up to, I'm not bragging, this is not braggadocio. They'd come up to me and say, "What a beautiful family you are." Out of the clear blue sky, and this didn't happen just once. Something about our outgoing appearance to people that was very admirable. Francine had a very logical mind. And she applied common sense to whatever she did and whatever relationship she had with people. Those who know her, I'm sure, are agreeing with me. Now, her logical mind she didn't learn that in a college class someplace. It was inbred in her. That's the way she was. She used everything common sense. And she didn't tolerate senseless activities. No nonsense from her. No nonsense from individuals, no nonsense from organizations. That was Francine. And she was very competent with numbers. And therefore, when I went into business with her back in '76 down here, we spent 25 years together in the business. And it was a successful, with her husband, Fred, it was a successful combination. We were a good team. Francine, as was already mentioned, Francine loved family. Very important to her. I personally appreciated her love for my family when I was with, may she rest in peace, Carol. And now that I'm with Adrian and Mandy, how close she became with us. That is something I'll never forget. As was mentioned, many people respected her. They respected her as a woman of responsibility, as a woman that you knew was doing the right thing. And it helped her. She led in so many activities down here in South Dade. and nationally, a national treasure of Women's League, am I correct? I mean, you've got to be a special person to have those kind of jobs. I only pray that myself and all of you, with the help of God, deal with her loss. The words I told you, the words that are coming out of the mouths of people, are true. I've heard many eulogies, and if I knew the deceased, they said what they had to say, whether bending the truth a little bit. There's no bending the truth here with all of you and with my words. She was a very, very special person. I just want to, this is something I added myself in the last few hours. I regret all the words here that I did not express to her when she was living. And let that be an object lesson to you people. To your loved ones, express it. Express to your loved ones you love them and why you love them. And you know that in your heart that they love you. I just want to say it is heartening for me to see the people that came down here from all parts of the country. Noah, Eva from California and Detroit, David, Stephen, Lenny, great nephews and nieces and great cousins to us. I appreciate you very much. Thank you. And I also, as an addition, representation from Dor Chadash congregation that is here today. Very, very much appreciated. Thank you.
As we hear now from Francine's children, Jay.
I'm going to begin with what others wrote to me through the various channels. First, Uncle Jean. She was certainly a guiding light here on earth, and Fred is a guiding light for her to return to him. Leah Abramoff. Sorry, Uncle Jean, Leah Abramoff, father, daughter. Okay. One of the most beautiful partnerships I've been blessed to witness, referring to my mom and dad. Aunt Francine, you are so loved and will be fiercely missed. Your intelligence and grace left this world that much better, and the comfort I have is in knowing you're with Uncle Fred now. Rest peacefully. Longtime friend in Israel. We spent Y2K, the New Year's, together with my family and friends. He wrote, "She was a really lovely woman. She was fiercely protective of you and your siblings." Again, using the word fiercely. Complete strangers, never met each other, using the exact same word, I think is poignant. And I've got a story about that real quick. Winter break 93, 94, I was studying a master's degree in Denver. I spent winter break down here and I started feeling pain in my abdomen. I go back to school to Denver and I see the doctor, refers me to the radiologist to do an ultrasound. Boo, 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 boo. Comes out, sits down next to me and says, we only detected one kidney. Okay. So we're going to perform an MRI. Okay. They perform the MRI from my shoulders to my knees just in case the second kidney is, I don't know, some other place. Nope. Comes out after the MRI. Are you aware that you only had one kidney? Nope. Okay. Drive home. Of course, first person that I call is Mom. Of course, she's at work. Mom, how you doing? Oh, I'm doing okay. I went to the radiologist, the clinic today. Are you aware that I only have one kidney? What? What are you talking about? What? Mom, relax. It's all okay. She didn't know how that happened, but I was born with one kidney and no one ever looked for it. Anyway, she was fiercely loyal to her family, dad, our family, to her family, dad, our family, her friends, her congregation, her family's business, and her employers. Tuesday morning, I visited a company now called Nichols Architects. Met a few of her former colleagues, Vanessa, Igor, Adolfo, and Robert, who might be watching out there. All said they worked for Mom, not for the partners, the actual architects. They worked for Mom. And to no surprise, they hold her in the highest praise. And David continues, and I think she was very proud that you were here, meaning Israel. And only now do I realize how difficult my immigration to Israel must have been for Mom and Dad. Especially consider Dad's constant consumption of news media and their Israel coverage. Over and over for the past 28 plus years, to hear what's going on in and around Israel could not have been easy. But I don't think I ever saw it. I think she mostly kept it to herself, but it had to be difficult. Her legacy. She set an example for her 3 children with quiet pride and natural confidence, without any self-congratulation or self-promotion. My most meaning inheritance, her legacy, family, friendships, Beit Shirah congregation, and her special relationships with people like, for example, Eva, Mimi Slacken, who is 95 years old, I believe, in New York with one of her daughters, Nora, watching live on the internet. And given my tendency to experience life with the glass half full, the last 4 years through COVID, cancer, etc., I have truly valued inheriting from my mom her close friendships with family, with friends, and with this congregation. There might be one person, maybe two people in the congregation that would relate to us being here 45 years ago. Not in this building, it didn't exist, but Michelle and I attended day school, what was then Beth David day school. If you had told me that 45 years later I'd be sitting here with Sandy Katz and Velma and Marilyn, I would have thought you were crazy. I never, ever would have figured that. So I thank Mom for passing that along to me. And lastly, maybe not lastly, one of the less important aspects of her legacy, I have become incredibly fond of turtles. I just have. Everywhere I go and I see turtles, I think of Mom. And lastly, over the past, 10, 15 years, spent a lot of time with her and Dad on cruises, other types of vacations, their trips to Israel. And I don't know how to say, it was some of the best times I've ever had. May her memory be a blessing and a comfort. And I am sorry for all of your loss. Thank you.
Michelle.
I guess I have to talk close to the microphone too. I'm going to try. The meaning of mishpacha, family. My mom, our mom, who loved to love. She had not a mean bone in her body. Her friends and her family were her world. Every holiday, every birthday, every anniversary was a reason to celebrate. To gather everyone around a meal was her way of showing her love. She was my rock and the wind beneath my wings. She was always there, and she just wanted to be in the room. She always had something to say and always a kind word. As others have said, she's kept friends for over 40, 50 years. This taught me the value of a friend. Those friends became family. Her two havurah groups, you know who you are. There aren't enough words to say how much she loved you. When she first went into the assisted living, you all tried to stay connected with her, and in turn were able to stay connected with me. The lunches you've invited me to and continue to make my heart happy. The love I felt being around Jewish moms was just love. Our families, siblings, cousins, nieces, nephews, grandparents, aunts, uncles, they were all important to her. She was the glue that kept everyone in the know and what was going on, with who. She stayed in touch with people around the globe. When I graduated college, she took me on a trip to London, without my brothers. We visited second cousins of my grandmother, and we were invited into their home like we had known them forever. That was the definition of mishpacha, a family to our mom. She explained a religion to everyone because to her that was important. She looked up to her mother, even though we looked down to her, as I have always looked up to mine. She was so much like my grandmother, just a little taller. She was always happy. If she was unhappy, you didn't really know, for she was the queen of sweeping it under the rug. You rarely saw her angry, and you never saw her sad. When my son Ryan was born, the first grandchild, my mom and dad were around for everything. Every sporting event, any awards, any birthday. They would even take him once a month for a night just so they could have their time with him without me. She would play board games and cards with him all day. They'd ride the Metro Rail for no reason at all. By doing this, though, they formed the relationship with him that will forever be treasured. When Ophelia was born, they were over the moon. One boy, one girl, grandchild, and the world was complete. Family. When she'd go on the boat with us, for whatever reason, it rained, Bowie still smiled. She was just happy being in the presence of us. Our Spivak family circle stood for family, mishpacha, connecting states, counties, and countries. It was a way to keep in touch. We've all looked through albums recently, and we came across the first editions of the Spivak Family Circle newsletter, which our grandmother was the editor for. And there was a poem called Try Smiling. When the weather suits you not, try smiling. When your coffee isn't hot, try smiling. When your neighbors don't do you right, or your relatives all fight, sure is hard, but then you might try smiling. Doesn't change the things, of course, just smiling, but cannot make them worse, of course, just smiling. And it seems to help your case, brightens up a gloomy place. Then it sort of rests your face, just smiling. This newsletter was dedicated to the 4 Spivak sisters, Leka, Malka, Riza, and Tunya, and it talked about a woman of valor. However, the rabbi already said the poem. I'm going to read it again because it was read from my grandmother. It was written by my grandmother, and it deserves to be read again for our mother. This is the publication of the very first Spivak Family Circle newsletter. A woman of valor who can find her prices far above rubies. The heart of her husband trusts in her, and he shall have no lack of gain. She doeth him good and not evil all the days of her life. She looks well to the ways of her household, and eat not the bread of the idleness. She gives food to her household, and a portion for her maidens. Strength and dignity are her clothing, and she laughs at the time to come. She stretched out her hand to the poor, yet she reached forth her hands to the needy. She opened her mouth with wisdom, and the law of loving kindness is on her tongue. Her children rise up and call her blessed, her husband also, and he praised her. Many daughters have done worthily, but you, excellent of them all. Grace is deceitful, beauty is vain, but a woman that revered the Lord, she shall be praised. Give her of the fruit of her hands, and let her works praise her in the gates. She's so missed. I'm so glad she can be with my dad. She was truly lost without him, as a child is lost without their mom. I was so lucky to have her by my side for as long as I did. She'll always be in my heart and a true inspiration. I'm lucky to have the family and friends around me as she did. She taught me how to hold those close that matter. She taught me how to be a mom, how to be a daughter, how to be an aunt, how to be a sister, and how to be a friend, and has certainly laid the groundwork to how to be a puppy. I'm so glad you're at peace now. The horrible disease of dementia is so unfair. But please rest easy as you watch over us. I promise to continue to feed our family and keep them smiling, and every once in a while, throw a little Jewish guilt. I love you, Mom.
At this time, we hear from Aaron.
Morning. Got to put the mic up because Michelle used it. I'm actually going to start with a passage from my mom's diary from 1991, dated August 6th at 10 a.m. We are awaiting our turn to board the plane for New York on the way to Israel. We made it to the airport with only one hitch. Jay broke his glasses at home. Of course I got upset, but he fixed them. Oy vey. I am amazed at how calm I feel. Better than any shorter trip we take. I guess I'm really resigned to going, and I want to go real bad. After Michelle's car accident on Sunday, I feel almost a stronger desire to get to Israel. Thank God we are all healthy. It's amazing how Jay started off with passages and messages from people, and Michelle started off with, something from Grandma. People have been saying over the week, may her memory be a blessing. And I didn't understand, I don't know what that meant. I guess it's a direct translation of a Hebrew phrase, excuse my Hebrew, Zichrona liv, oh man, I messed it up. Livracha, thank you, messed that one up. So I did some research, AI, Google, thought a lot about it. And here's my meaning to it. It's more than a polite farewell. It's a specific instruction or hope for how mom's life should continue to impact those who remain. I think it's a positive call to action. It's a wish that whenever you remember mom, that memory shouldn't be just sadness. Instead, it should serve as an inspiration that motivates you to act in a positive, good, loving way. Her memory should prompt you to be a better person. This is especially hard with my mom for those who've seen her recently because the last 4 years was not my mom. We should remember her for what everybody said here today, the unconditional love of family, friends, and faith, sometimes laden with guilt, her business acumen, it should also be used, the phrase, may her memory be a blessing, be using the past for the future. When people say it, I believe we're essentially hoping that her good deeds, kindness, wisdom, and strength will be the blessing. I think my sister mentioned, or my brother mentioned, legacy. 3 children, 2 grandchildren, her brother, 11 nieces and nephews, unbelievable friendships, and her time giving to the Jewish culture. I think it should also mean a counter to the loss. It acknowledges the deep pain of loss but it immediately pivots, suggesting that her life story holds something valuable, something that can enrich our lives and others even now that she's not here. So Ophelia, my daughter, said something to my wife. I don't have that many memories with Bubby, and I know I can't make any more. I don't think that's true. I think that when she has experiences with us, she will make memories, and that is memories with Bubby. So I think it means don't just mourn the loss of her presence, but actively cherish and apply the good lessons, examples, and feelings. Every time you remember her, may it be a source of comfort and motivation to do good in this world, rather than just a source of loss and sadness. So, Jay said messages from people, Michelle said messages from Grandma, I said something from Bubby. I want to end with something from my father. They were married for over 55 years. They had hard times and they had good times. Many of the friends knew all of the above. But in one of the letters that my dad wrote, not the one I'm going to read, he mentions that their love endured. And that is a strong, strong word. So this is an email from my father. Yes, he knew how to email. From in October 9th, 2010. It's the day before her 65th birthday, to my sister. Michelle, you asked all of us to jot down some thoughts regarding Francine. Wow. How do I jot down almost 47 years in a few short sentences? Whatever is written here is but a fraction of my thoughts, feelings, and experiences with Francine Miriam Resnick Abramoff. When we first met, my first impression was, why would a young Jewish male want with a nice, young Jewish girl? The answer was nothing. In any event, we fell in love. She first, me second, that's a whole other story. Courted, that's a whole other story. Married, had children, at least 3, last counted. We were in business together and apart and basically grew old together. How's that for putting things in a nutshell? Along the way, she became my lover, wife, mother to my children, even mothered me on occasions, business partner, general partner, confidant, and a fun person to play around with. Sorry. This lady inherited a bunch of traits from her mother, Shirley. Boy, am I glad she did. Francine is forthright, honest, loving, and just about anything else I can think of that is positive in a person. It goes without saying, I'll say it anyways, my wife is the second best thing that ever happened to me. Being born is still number 1. Even my mother, on one of our rocky days, said Francine was too good for me, and if we ever broke up, she would still be Francine's friend. So much for blood. Francine has stuck it out. She is strong. She is the strong one in this marriage. As a dinosaur, I thought until recently I was numero uno in the strong department. But over time, I have realized she is the strength in this relationship. No regrets. Her birthday is truly equal to vintage wine. Francine has aged in a cherished bottle of wine that enriched with age. Unlike uncorked wine, we get the benefits of this enrichment every day. I am blessed to be married to Francine Miriam Resnick Abramoff.
Before our sanctuary service, I met with the family. And I share with them from Jewish tradition, we don't use the words death. We say ptirah, a separation, that the soul has separated from the body. The physical body is finite, but the soul continues to olam haba, the world to come, elevates to olam haba. And that is something that is a core foundation of our faith. And in order to assist the soul in this time, as it is elevating, we have a prayer that we say. The prayer is El Malei Rachamim. I invite you, if you're able at this time, please rise as Francine's brother, Cantor Babe, will recite for us El Malei Rachamim.
Thank you, Rabbi. Before I do the MLA, I was remiss not mentioning the names, my nephews and niece, Michelle, Jay, and Aaron, who I've spent quite a bit of time this week. And I learned to love them. And I hope we can stay together in the future. This is in honor of Roz Rimling, the daughter Michelle, Jay, son Aaron, and all the partners. Amale Rachamim, Shochena Bamromi, Amet Sebenuchana Chana, Tachata Kanfea Shechina, Bemalata, Yidoshim, Utahorim, Kezor Hararakia Mazirim, Et Nishmot Zipporah, Bat Moshe Yafa, Shelchal Yolami Ma, Began Eidenti Menuchata, Anna Baal Rachamim, Hastirecha Beseiter Kenafechel Eolamim, Yitzror Vitzror HaChayim Et Nishmata, Adonai hu nachalata, v'tanuach b'shalom al mishkava, v'nomar Amen. Prayer of mercy. God, full of mercy, who dwells above, give rest on the wings of the divine presence among the holy, the pure, and glorious, who shine like the sky, to the soul of Tzipporah bat Moshe Yafa, for whom prayer was offered in the memory of her soul. Therefore, the merciful one will protect her soul forever and will merge her soul with eternal life. The everlasting is her heritage, and she shall rest peacefully as her lying place. And let us say, Amen. Thank you.
This now concludes our sanctuary service. We will proceed to the gravesite for the havurah, for burial. The family will exit with Francine and the havurah, the burial, will be at Mount Nebo in Doral. Lakeside in Doral.
Family, loved ones, and friends, if you will be participating in the committal at Lakeside Memorial Park and Funeral Home, please proceed to your vehicles. We will have a procession from here to Lakeside Memorial Park Cemetery. Again, if you are participating in the committal, please proceed to your vehicles for the procession to Lakeside Memorial Park and Funeral Home. If you are participating in the procession, we are now about to leave. Please proceed to your vehicles to proceed to Lakeside Memorial Park and Funeral Home for the committal.